Hello, my beautiful friends. It's Sunita. Welcome to Sunita Makes Crochet Items. I want to try to do something new or like a new series per se, but it's kind of like a crochet with me. So let's try it out. And at the end of the day, can you figure out what I'm making? Or let's see. I want to make it fun and engaging and still be a mystery. Not really. But we'll try it out. How about that? All right. So stay tuned. The next few videos will be just me up crocheting, maybe with some background music. Who knows? I gotta figure out my plan. But definitely stick around if you want to join me. You can always add it to a playlist. Actually, it's gonna be in a playlist. I might put them in different playlists. That way you can easily access it. But it is what it is, guys. I just go with the flow. So thank you again for hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys around with the finished object of this. Will be a multiple series. So I'll let you know what part I'm at. Take care. Thank you again for watching. All right, so part one of the series, you're going to start off with a hook, yarn, a stitch marker. You might need scissors, but you don't need it right now. So we're just going to crochet together. I'm going to go row by row. So row one of this is, I'm going to do a double magic circle with 6 single crochets in a magic circle. So that's chain 1 does not count. And we're going to do 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 3 single crochet, 4 single crochet, 5 single crochet, and 6 single crochet. Double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and let's do the magic circle. Pull this first, just gently. First one to go in, which is that one, because this one kind of is longer. So you pull the smaller one first, and that one goes away. Pull it as tight as you can, and then you pull this next one, or pull the tail, and this one disappears. Magic, voila. That was row 1. So 6 single crochets in a magic circle. Okay, we're going to start with row 2. Row 2 is when the stitch marker comes in play. I like to put it on the yarn that's on the hook, which will indicate the first stitch. And what you're going to do now is single crochet in each stitch 2 times, so that's considered an increase. So with this row you should have 12 stitches, and we're just working with single crochets. So remember, that was just a chain 1, doesn't count. I'm going to go in this one here, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and just keep going all the way around. I'm going to count silently. And 10. All right, so we're just working in the round one last stitch, 11 and 12. All right, so at the end of row 2 you should have 12. You can pull on this just a little bit, just to, we're gonna keep going around with the string to weave it in. Or you can do what I do, is take this stitch marker out because it's in the way. Use this tail here as your stitch marker. So that's row 1 and row 2. Row 1 started with 6 single crochets in the magic circle. Row 2 is an increase of single crochets in each stitch, which will bring you to 12. Alright, so for row 3, you are going to single crochet in the first stitch, and remember this string is going to be my row counter. So we got 1, and then in the next stitch we're going to put 2. It's 2 and 3. Okay, and just repeat that all the way around until you get to this stitch marker. This will give you 18 stitches altogether. I'm gonna crochet silently. So when I do row 3, I just do 1 and then increase, which is 2, 3. I just count 1, 2, 3 all the way around until I get to this stitch. Flip it over. I have 18 stitches at the end of row 3. Okay, so row 4 is an easy one. You're just going to single crochet all the way around with 1 in each stitch. You should still have 18 stitches. Okay, made it. That was fast. So row 4 is just a row of single crochets all the way around, and that brings you to 18 stitches. Okay friends, you have made it to row 5. Row 5, you're going to single crochet 5 times, and then you're going to increase. You're going to do that for 3 rounds, or 3 times altogether. At the end of row 5, you should have 21 stitches. So let's do this first one together. Remember, we just flip this stitch counter back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increase, 6, 7. Just do that 2 more times, and you should have 21 stitches. last time. Last stitch here, 6 and 7. Okay, so you should have 21 stitches, and it's gonna grow a little bit bigger. So row 5 is 5 single crochets and increase. Repeat it 2 more times. Okay, the next 2 rows, rows 6 and 7, you're just gonna single crochet around each stitch. You'll have 21 stitches in row 6 and 21 stitches in row 7. I'm gonna go row 7. (20) and 21. All right, you have finished rows 7 and 6. Each rounds have 21 stitches, and it should start to cut. There you go. Okay, for row 8, we're going to do 6 single crochets and then an increase. Just make sure you flip your row counter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The next stitch you're going to increase 7 and 8. Do that 2 more times. At the end of this row, which is row 8, you'll have 24 stitches. So last stitch is an increase. 7, 8. that was 6 single crochets and it increased 3 times. Okay, so for row 9, 10, and 11, you're just going to single crochet all the way around for the next 3 rows. 1 single crochet in each stitch. That's 24 stitches each row. Let's go. It's 24. Go to row 10. Uh-oh, I'm missing a count. I'm just going to add one more. That's 24. Last row. Row 11. Single crochet in each stitch. Three and 24. There we have it. Row 9, 10, 11 was 24 single crochet in each stitch. And flip that over. Okay, so for row 12, you are going to single crochet in each of the next 10 stitches and then do a decrease. I'll show you how to do that when we get there. Let's do 10 single crochets. And 10. Okay, when you get to the next 2 stitches, you're going to do a decrease. How I do a decrease is called an invisible decrease, and basically all you do is just pick up the first two stitches. You have the V there, you're just going to pick up this one and this one, yarn over and pull through two. That's an increase, in a decrease, sorry. So do that one more time. At the end of this row you should have 22 stitches. That's 10, and then the last two stitches just do a decrease. All right, so that's 22 stitches at the end of row 12. And basically row 12, just a recap, is 10 single crochets and a decrease. Okay, so for the next two rows you are going to do 22 single crochets. So that's one single crochet in each of the next 22 stitches. So row 13, single crochet in each stitch. We're going to go to 14. I'm just going to flip my string, do another row of single crochet in each stitch. So that is row 13 and 14, single crochet in each stitch, which each row should have 22. Bring this stitch marker back in play, because what I'm going to do is use this and crochet around to weave it in. One, and make sure that it's a little bit tighter, like I can cinch it in, but you can just stuff it in the below, or you can continue to use it as a stitch marker. So row 15, you can do 9 single crochets and a decrease. At the end of this row you should have 20. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then decrease. That's 10, and repeat that one more time. Okay, so that's 20 stitches. Just gonna move it up. And then that little bit, I can just tuck it in because I don't need it anymore. Row 16, you're going to 8 single crochets and then a decrease. Eight, decrease, 9, do that one more time, 8, and decrease is 9. Okay, so at the end of row 16, you should have 18 stitches. So now what you're going to do is just take this stitch marker out. You don't necessarily need it anymore. Alright, so these are technically not rows, but I'm going to count them as rows. This is technically row 17. Just flatten it. And what you're going to do is single crochet across the top of this. So just go into this stitch and this stitch. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This last one is 8. Alright? Now, this would technically be row 18. So what you're going to do now is you're going to fold this in half. You left with this stitch here on this side. So basically take this end to bring it towards the hook. Like that. To fold it into a C, and then you're going to single crochet across that. 1. Just make sure you get through both loops. 2, 3, and 4. And fasten off. Okay, so go ahead and do that one more time so you get 2 of them. Just cut your string just enough to sew it in. So you can add 2. You can stretch it out a little bit if you want. So depending on how you want it, you can either, when you sew it in, you can sew it this way or you can sew it that way. It really depends, but we'll worry about that when we get to it. Just make sure you get 2 of these done. If you have to rewatch and get it all situated, you definitely can. So how'd you do? Was that okay for part 1 of my Crochet With Me series, Mystery Crochet Along? Obviously, I think you might know what it is, but if you don't, stick around. So go ahead, make another one if you haven't already, and meet back with me for part 2. So this is part 1 of a multiple part series. I'm just going to do one piece at a time. You can replay and catch up, get the pieces all together. You're going to have 2 pieces. And I didn't tell you what kind of yarn you need to use. That's because that's up to you. What I do is go into my yarn room and pick whatever yarn speaks with me and find the hook according to that yarn and just go with the flow. Honestly, yarn talks to you. So you have to listen. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed making these little guys. And I'll see you around. Thank you again for watching. Always love yourself so you can love everyone else.